that goes. Welcome to hour 2 of Sundays with Shar. If anybody wants to hop on and go split screen, let me know. But this is mostly where I unwind and I tell you all my business. So if you want to know my business, stick around. Just a recap of this week, Typically, let me start off by saying this because I don't have notes for this. I typically don't. I just freestyle it. You know what I'm saying? And so what I do want to note is that this week was particularly hard for me. It was hard. But then again, like I told you all last week, that's part of being human. Some days, some weeks, some moments are going to be better than others. And I've come to understand that. But this week has been particularly challenging just based on, like I kind of touched on in the last hour with Johnny Sibley, just the intersections that I exist in, right? So being at the intersections of Blackness and of womanhood and of transness, this would have been a tough week for anyone. Hello, Variety D. How are you across the pond? Are you still in the UK? Is that where you're still based? But so it's been hard. We started out the week, or I'm gonna speak for myself. I started out the week being inundated with the unfortunate vicious attack against Jossell, and Eden in Hollywood, where I live. I live in Los Angeles. And then by the time the week ended, I had to deal with nonsense on the internet at the hands of, at the expense of Megan Thee Stallion with the Tory Lanez and the shooting thing. Do you know how hard that was? So it's what I have come to learn, you all, and what I've come to learn about myself is it's okay to still be a news girl, Shar. It's okay to still immerse myself in the headlines, but we have to, in the name of self-preservation, we have to filter out certain things in order to just survive. And so there are times, like, you all know that Twitter, it's no secret, Twitter is like my home base. I love Twitter. I love tweeting. But, like I said, it gets hard. And it gets even more challenging when you really sit back and it's like, oh, Twitter's a bubble type thing. Twitter's not reflective of the real world. Oh, but it is. Because in context of the attack against the trans women, in context of the conversation around Megan Thee Stallion, I didn't see any better. So it's like, if Twitter is where the bar is, you head over to Facebook and it's a damn cesspool. It's a damn sewer operation. I already have a question. Difference between pivoting versus funding the passion. Yes, that was a big takeaway. So in case you all missed last hour, I was on with actor Johnny Sibley, who played Costas on Pose season 1. Billy Porter, Pray Tell's love interest. He's also Johnny. Go follow him, because Johnny has a fun account and he has tons of different characters that he borrows from and kind of like does these skits. And what I loved most about talking to Johnny is that he mentioned that, a lot of this stuff is off the cuff. It's improvised. There's no script. He kind of just jots things down, kind of like what I'm doing with you all, except I have no notes. I have my laptop open because I was looking at Twitter, and I have things that I need to address, DMs and stuff, but that can wait. See, I just closed it because this is our time. This is my time with you for this next, 50 minutes. But, going back to my initial topic at hand. Well, first of all, thank you, Johnny, for joining me. That was a great conversation, and I think a lot of people got a lot out of it. If you have not seen it yet, if you weren't in the room, I encourage you to go watch it sometime later today. But stay here and talk to me right now. I'm depending on you all. I can't go out to brunch right now. I can't go out to happy hour. I could always FaceTime and call friends, but why do that when I can talk to you all on the internet from my Instagram live? So anyway, what I was saying is that, hi Variety, give me like 2 seconds. I'm going to let you in. But what I was saying is that I wanted to kind of drive that point home, just how tough of a week this has been, just being a Black woman of the trans experience and navigating, not even navigating, but witnessing some of the conversations at hand and just realizing, like I said during the last hour, I believe that progress is slow because people are inherently self-centered and there is no real incentive for people to do and be better. There's none. And that is just an unfortunate truth of the world that we live in. Now, Variety, where did you go? Variety sent me a Oh, she's in the hospital, still in the hospital. Variety had sent me a request to join. But yeah, so I don't want to sound doom and gloom, but there's no incentive for people to do and be better. And when I say people, I mean all people. There's no incentive for men to be better to women or to themselves. There's no incentive for white people to be less racist. There's no incentive for cis people to be less trans. None. People really just have to operate off their moral compass. And unfortunately, people don't have a lot of moral compasses. So I haven't lost all hope, though. I've just come to accept some truths. I feel like I'm laying the groundwork. I'm laying the foundation for the girl coming up after me.
I'm laying on my bed in hospital. That's what I'm laying on. You keep laying the groundwork.
Now, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
It's because your question's still up there. Take it off the difference between
No,
pivoting and some things.
no, it says connecting. Wait, hang up, and then I'll let you back in because it says connecting. And
I'll go and come back because the question's right bang in the middle, right there.
I don't see it on my screen. I see
All right.
comments.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. There we
Do
go.
you all see a question? I don't see a question. Maybe it's an Instagram glitch or something. I don't see a damn question. And it still says connecting, unfortunately. Now it says Variety is unable to join. Oh, wait, there. Okay, hold on. No, yeah, the question's not up. So I don't know what Variety, what's going on with that UK Wi-Fi. It says it's waiting on her. So yeah, that's been the main thing. And you know, fundamentally, I told you all last week that being attracted to men is not a choice for me. It's not a choice, but it's also inherently political. So I had to back up off of the dating apps a little bit because of the week, because of the headlines. I'm just like, ugh, someone show me better. And show me better outside of my own damn iMessages or my own DMs. Let me publicly see. It says waiting for Variety. I don't know what's going on, sis. Now, come on now. So I'll just keep talking because I was shooting the shit anyway in the meantime. So you all know I told you that I had a meeting with a dating app with the C-suite last week. And so it went fairly well. It was not what I was expecting. I was under the impression that, you know, that maybe it would be like a group type thing. At first it was presented to me like it would just be me. And then it was like maybe like a group type thing. But then when I got there, it was just me. I was the only Negro. Did I open it right? The only Negro. Gotta get it right. And it was a Zoom call. The meeting went great. I got my subscription to this dating app that was part of my compensation, except I have no real incentive, since that seems to be the word of the hour. I have no real incentive to use it because I have not seen a beacon of hope in men. But I like men. But I've not seen any, you know, y'all not loud enough for me. So it's just been very, very, like I said, existing at those intersections. When you see Meg Thee Stallion be attacked and critiqued and unfairly critiqued, and then there's transphobia that seeps into that. You know, there's transphobia that there's a lot of people making jokes, men and women alike, making jokes that surround transphobic rhetoric as it pertains to Meg Thee Stallion. And I've also seen discourses, well, is this transphobic or just misogynistic because Meg isn't trans? I think it's safe to say that it is both. They're cousins. Like it's both. To imply that it was okay, like in theory, if Megan were trans, and to imply that it would be okay, like Tory gets a pass if he were to shoot her because he discovered that, that's transphobia and misogyny. The two, they don't have to be mutually exclusive, people. Okay. So it just, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I want you all to understand that. And then also I had dysphoria, body dysmorphia, dysphoria. It reared its ugly head on Wednesday. And so it was, what I thought was funny is that I came to you all last Sunday and I was talking my talk. And like I said, I inherently believe everything that I say. I have no reason to, you know, fake the funk, but I also emphasize that I wasn't coming to you all from this elevated being type thing, finger wagging, telling you what you should do. I'm still a human. And so what I thought was funny is I had that heart-to-heart conversation with y'all last Sunday, and then as soon as the week started, literally Monday through Friday for the most part, it was just thing after thing after thing after thing, and I had to remind myself to, stay in the space, Shar. Stay in it. You're fine. You're fine. You'll be fine. You just got to filter out what's for you. And I've learned to do that. If I don't have anything to say, like, don't come to me. And you also have to really not posture yourself as to what people want you to be. I'm sorry if I can't live up to what you all have put on my shoulders. I'm sorry if I can't. I have to prioritize myself just as many of you are. Okay? The world is not spinning in the way that we are used to it spinning. This is a hard year for us all. So if you're looking to me for a hot take on any and every damn thing as it relates to my trans identity, I'm sorry, you're not going to get it. You're not going to. Sometimes I just want a Tuesday to be a Tuesday. Okay? Is that okay? I just want a Tuesday to be a Tuesday. And I feel like for optics purposes, I always got to flip it for cis Black people who might not get it. Imagine if you logged on imagine if a Black person were brutally beat, even though we still get this. So that example doesn't hold any weight. We get this. We see Black people being murdered all up and down our social media with no trigger warning, like everybody grabs the video and shares it, and you could just be scrolling, minding your business, trying to escape your mental prison of the day. Just wanting to see what people are doing, and it's thing after thing after thing, visual after visual, hot take after hot take. And for me, that's why I told you all I've been hesitant on fully embracing the activist space. I do not label myself an activist because I don't have that to give to y'all. If I labeled myself an activist and really ran with that, I would be dragged left and right because the level of expectation that comes with when you give yourself that title or when the community gives you that title, I reject it. And that's not to say that things won't change. That's not to say that my mind or my journey won't change at some point. But right now, Shar is fully rejecting that. I can't exist in that space. And I always don't know what to say. I always don't have anything to offer to the conversation. I just don't. I don't. And I feel like people should respect that. And it's been said 1,000,001 times before. I believe that sometimes just waking up and functioning and getting pretty for y'all for the live, that too is a form of activism. Having this conversation, just being present, is that too can be a form of activism. I don't want to be personally, and this is not a knock towards anyone because I don't view any of the brilliant women that I follow, which I'm always thankful for. I'm always grateful for. Gosh, there's so many amazing activists. There's Hope, Jossell, Ashley Marie Preston, Raquel Willis, just to name a few. If you're not following these ladies, you need to be. I'm grateful for them. I just don't have that in me where I think to say ambulance chasing is the wrong word because I'm not accusing them of that. I'm not even putting them on that. But I don't want that term and those names I just rattled off to be conflated for you all to run back and be messy, because that is not in any way an implication of an indication of anything I'm trying to say. It's not fun waking up and being tagged 7-8 times in a video that is harmful. It's harmful. It's violent. And it makes me feel even more unsafe. And for my mental health, whether it's an illusion or not, you can say what you want to say. Whether you deem it that, I can't exist in that space. It's something that I had to sit with. I had to pray about. I had to journal about. And then taking that on while still existing, while still trying to actively engage with guys that are like in my DMs, guys that I feel, what I will say, let me just say this. You all know that this is always like a gumbo for me. It's 1,000,001 different topics. What I will say about the dating apps is that, everybody got kids. But I feel like I'm in that space now. I'm a few months shy of 33. Oh yes, of 33, of 33. The Jesus year. And I feel like, of course, as I get older, that comes with the territory. Everybody got kids. Everybody got kids. That's one thing. And then I feel like I'm not in the market for new friends. I'm just not, that's not something that I'm personally interested in right now. But a lot of the guys that I have started talking to on these dating apps have exclusively kind of just become pen pals. I don't know if they're attracted to me, but I'm not attracted to them in that way. They're not interesting. You know, to get this engine revving, you need to be interesting. You need to be better than a pretty face. Oh no, Travell. I'm not ready to be stepmother to. I'll be stepmother to little Fido, the dog, or little Mittens, the kitten. But to a child, no. And what I will say is that I did briefly talk to a guy who had an 8-year-old daughter. I never met the kid. And it's not, I don't hate children. I enjoy children. Um, I like children. That's just a different space to exist in with baby mamas and stuff. And okay, Bookerman says you're 24 and everybody got kids. Yes, but you know what? I was able to avoid that, you know? And so I also have to examine that. I'd be like, do I like him because he's cute and he has it together? Or do I like him because he's cute and childless? Like, that's something that I really gotta, you know, oof. And I have no preference. I don't care whether the kid is 8 years old or 8 months old. It's just a no for me right now. I want to be your focal point. You know, I want to be able to have you so accessible without that damn the kid fired up the MacBook and is doing arithmetic in the living room and you can't talk to me, you know, like that type thing. So that's just where I'm at. You all can take from it what you want to take from it. But the guys that I have, there's 2 guys that I've been talking to consistently on one of the apps, and they've become exclusively pen pals because they have nothing interesting to say. We literally have talked, like this week we talked about the heat wave. How's your Friday? Like, how's your day? What you got planned? And that is like the extent of the conversation. This is despite them saying that, oh, you're so interesting, I want to get to know more about you. Well, I feel like if that's the case, you should drive the conversation. But in a lot of my interactions with men, I'm always the one driving the conversation. Now, I don't know if that's because they're lazy or if they just fundamentally do not know how to carry on a conversation beyond the road leading to us disrobing, if you know what I'm saying. See, I know how to pull. We can talk. Let's go there. Let's go there with Shira and Ryan. Ryan says, I want to experience having our first child with someone. That feeling is gone if someone already has. Okay, fair. So Ryan says he wants to experience the feeling of being with someone and them experiencing the first child together. He also goes on to say, I hate digital dating. Tone is so hard. And yes, the lack of carrying the conversation is even worse. Yeah, so that's the thing. No one, like, for example, I think I kind of touched on this. One of the guys was like, why did you, swipe on me? And I told him, I swiped yes, we were a match or whatever. And I told him, because I enjoyed your bio. Your bio is not like anything else I've seen on this app. And then he went on to say how interesting he found me, but has not gone on to like interrogate or fight beyond how my day is. So was that just filler conversation or what? So, I don't know. One of the guys I was talking to yesterday, he lives in Brentwood, and the conversation kind of dried up. Like, it was a nice conversation, but it kind of dried up when I said, and I jokingly say this because you all know I'm a pop culture girl. I said, every time I see Brentwood or hear that name, I think of OJ. LOL. And it just kind of like, I'm like, did I scare him off by bringing up an OJ Simpson reference? Does he even know who OJ is? Granted, this guy was 30, so he's 2 years younger than me. But you never know. I've been in conversations with people who don't understand news and pop culture references. And that's another thing that I can't get jiggy with. If you're not cognizant, and pop culture be damned, but if you're not cognizant or have no interest in what's going on in the world around you, and you're a fully formed, fully functioning grown-ass man, leave a girl like Shar alone. Because all you're guaranteed, certified, you're going to get on my damn nerves. I need someone. Matter of fact, I went on last year I was in conversation with the man that I was interested in. And while we were out to eat, this was during, I'm sorry, this is so embarrassing. But there was some joke that was being made. It was during, it was the presidential. Remember when we had like 15 candidates for the Democratic side? And I brought up Pete Buttigieg, and he had no idea who Pete Buttigieg is. And this is when we had like our front runners, so to speak. There was Andrew Yang and Elizabeth Warren and Pete Buttigieg and Kamala Harris. And these names were like in constant cycles. You all, come on now, think back to the 50 million debates we had at the end of last year. And I'm like that was a huge red flag to me. And so, yeah. CM Lee 3143 says, nothing worse than a dry convo. And I agree. But like I said, I don't know if these men are lazy or if they do not know how to hold a conversation, or due to the pandemic. See, my hormones aren't bouncing off the wall in the manner that, a man's would. I got so much Lady E running through these veins, child. And for me, for some girls, it's different. For me, it's lowered my libido, so I'm able to think clearer. But it's just like, I'm also not interested. You all know I've been adamant in this. I'm not interested in laying down with anyone. I'd at least have to know you. And that does not fall into the lines of respectability. I want to clear that up before you all go there. It has nothing to do with respectability. It has everything to do with the damn global health pandemic, a damn global health crisis. Not meeting a stranger off a dating app and what's the old folks say, the horizontal tango or whatever it's called. I don't know. But so yeah, that's been the update on the dating. I think I'm going to slow down, honestly, you all. Not that I've been moving fast, but I think I'm going to slow down only because I'm bored. I'm bored on the dating apps. And also, when weeks like what just happened, it makes it very hard for me to engage with any type of man, gay, straight, or otherwise. It makes it very hard to engage. Makes it very hard to engage because there's no hope. There's no hope. Seeing transphobia from everywhere. I'm seeing misogynoir from everywhere. And you expect me to give you my time, my energy, my attention, my loving, my body? You're not even worthy of it. You don't even view me as a human being. Do y'all not see what's not clicking? Do y'all see where I'm coming from, or do I sound erratic? That is what, I feel like if I were to lay down with the man where I'm currently at as of this past week, just what I'm currently thinking, I'm disgusted. If I were to lay down with the man, I'd be so emotionally detached. And then it's what's the point? Because I'm just there for you. How do you show up for me? How do you show up for me? So yeah, that ties into what I was saying last week about how being attracted to men is political, whether you want to admit it or not. It just is. And if I had a choice, I think that I would be asexual. That's what I would pray for. I don't know. Bisexual, pansexual. I really do hate that I'm exclusively attracted to men. I really do. Some of you all are not going to believe me because sometimes I do turn into Sandra from 227 around the right man. Sometimes I can be a bit of a harlot, but it's just very, very hard. And like I said, coming off the heels of last week. And you know what? That's the thing about life, and especially 2020, we don't know, what's around the corner. God, we don't know what's going to happen today. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And that's how life has always worked. But it seems especially sensitive in 2020 because you don't know the next headline that's going to pop out, if you know what I'm saying. What I will say is that I have a friend that just started dabbling in tarot cards. Some of y'all are going to be like, ooh, child, where's the cross and the blood? But anyway, I have a friend that just started dabbling in tarot cards. And so he jokingly, well, not jokingly, but he did. I shuffled the deck. He pulled the cards. The cards never lie. Shout out to MTV Hip Hopera, Carmen. May 1st, 2001, I believe. But anyway, he shuffled the cards. My question was, will I find romantic love before 2022? I want to give myself a grace period. And basically, he was pulling the cards, And then he had the book that defined what the cards is, because he's kind of new to this. And the answer was practically yes. And what's even more exciting is I do have a meeting in about an hour with a seasoned astrologer. So there is no book. It's just, it's a virtual meeting with a seasoned astrologer. And I want to know, you all know I love the stars. And like, I'm a spiritual girl. I believe in God. I believe in a source, a higher being. However, I'm a bit of an astrological novice, and that's not me playing around with it, but I like to know what's in the cards. I like to know, I'm in it. I'm into my moon sign, my ascending sun sign, and all of the rising, the Venus. I'm digging it. So I'm excited for that reading coming up in an hour. I need to get something though. For whatever reason, like I need to get something to eat. Because for whatever reason, I never, I'd be up at like 7 a.m., y'all, like praying, okay? But I never eat because, I'm doing intermittent fasting. And I have lost some weight. I'm not going to even lie. I eat, on a good day, I eat between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. On a wonky day, I eat between the hours of 10 a.m. and 7 p.m. So I go live with you all at 11, and my nerves are like, I'm still show prepping and getting the Bluetooth ready to do the Monica and all. Like, I'm not eating anything. So I have to wait. I have to save it. So even though I get up every day around 6:37, I drink tons of water, tea, no coffee. I fill up on liquids, and then I'm allowed to eat at 10. And like I said, I did this strictly for, to dabble in some weight loss, because I'm not a fan of exercising, even though I'm about to buy a bike. I don't know if you all follow me on Twitter, but I'm about to buy a bike. I didn't realize how expensive they are, but I'm going to get a bike, and then my Angelino conversion transformation will be complete. I have a hatchback Prius and a bike, and then I can drive out to the coast for the beach and ride. I don't like exercising outside of cardio. I put me in a mirrored dance studio and put on like Destiny's Child live in Atlanta, and I will work it out. Okay, I know every routine. Or put on a Beyonce concert, put me in some stilettos in a dance studio, and I will work it out. That's my type of working out. I'm not interested in that damn elliptical. I'm not interested in lifting those weights. Ugh, that's just not me. I do have a jump rope that I bought months ago that I barely use. So I have to find fun things. And I know I enjoy riding bikes. I do enjoy bike riding, but I don't want to do a stationary bike. I don't want to do a Peloton type thing. I want to be out with nature. And what better way I live in Southern California. Get your ass up. I'm up at 6:37 every day. Beat the traffic out there. Park. Get a good park because it's early in the morning. Get the bike out of the trunk. Boop, boop. Lock the door. And get to riding and praying. 2020 has me in a constant state of prayer, y'all. I feel like I understand. I have a connection to the aunties and the mothers. Like I've always been spiritual, religious. Well, I'm not really religious in my adult life, but as a child I was raised in the church. Those of you who have followed my career in Kiss and Tell, you all know this. I was raised in multiple choirs, the school choir, the church choir. My father's a deacon. My mother sang soprano. My aunts, I have tons of uncles. I have 4 uncles, and 3 of the 4 are pastors. Not just reverends, but pastors. So I was raised in the church, and I was about to forget, like I almost lost my train of thought. But what I'm saying is, as someone who's always prayed, I feel like in my adult life, right now in this moment, I get it. I can say I get it. I get like the one aunt that I didn't understand who listens to gospel music 24/7 in the radio, and I get it. I get it. I get it. I understand. And so that's how I feel like I'm in constant connection to the source, because I feel like every waking moment I'm saying a prayer, an affirmation, a declaration to just make sure that I'm good and make sure that I'm not, mentally faltering. Sometimes you got to declare some things, even when you're not feeling it. I believe, I was just telling my friend Anthony last night on on FaceTime. We were talking about a whole bunch of stuff. And I just was saying that, you know, a lot of this stuff I have rejected. A lot of these bad feelings, I've just flat out, I've had to reject because I firmly believe this is not God's assignment for me. Life is hard, yes, but I do not believe, I refuse to believe that some of the nonsense that comes with existing and navigating the world with this identity and this body is for me. That's not destiny, child. And so, yeah, we were just really just delving into that. I reject certain things, and that doesn't make them any less real, right? That doesn't make systemic oppression. That doesn't make some of these things that we are working tirelessly to break down, like misogyny and homophobia, transphobia, sexism. That doesn't make those any less real. But what I'm saying is, I refuse to believe that that's all that this life has to offer me. I am not accepting that. I don't believe that the source that loves me, I don't believe that that's my assignment. So there. It's just a blip in time, and we're going to move on. If we're going to heal, let it be glorious. Shout out to Lemonade. So, but it takes constant work. I'm on here joking around and LOLing with you all, but I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass serious. It's constant work. And like I said, that was the big joke of the week for me, is that I came here and I talked to you all last week about a whole bunch of stuff. I got to crying. Travell got me to crying about weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. And then I was tested all week. It was like, oh, you were talking all that big shit on your Instagram live. Let's see. Let's see. And I'm proud of myself. I stayed in the light. I believe I stayed in the light. And that's not to say I didn't have dark moments, because I did. I had certain triggers. Look, I'm human. We're all human. I certainly had triggers that I had to work through all by myself. And it doesn't have to be that way. I should note that it doesn't have to be that way. But there were circumstances in place where I had to do it myself. And I ultimately had to make a smart decision as to how I was going to do that. Are we about to polish off, you know, a bottle of Pinot Grigio? Or are we going to make some tea, shed a tear, and read 2 chapters from our book? Let's decide. I chose the latter. That's what I did. Because I know that polishing off that bottle of wine, which is, trust me, child, a go-to in the past, but I know that knowing me, it probably would have made me sadder. It probably would have exaggerated what I was already feeling. And so I've just been trying, and it's all about, literally, it's all about just making those decisions, those better decisions in the moment. But you got to do what works for you. That's not to say that I'm not going to hit a hiccup, that I might not hit a hiccup this upcoming week, and it's the bottle of Pinot. You get what I'm saying? You know, I'm trying to emphasize to y'all duality, because I am not perfect. And that's something that I've been definitely having to drill in my head. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. There will be setbacks. There will be triggers. There will be things that just happen. And I feel like ever since I've been doing Sundays with Shar, I've been reiterating the grace of the pandemic. We have to give ourselves the grace of this is not 2019 and before. We're in a pandemic. And that's another thing. I got the car. I told you all I got the car, Black is King, all of that. It's like people have assumed that just because I have wheels now that my social distancing has loosened up. It hasn't. The thing is, me having a car was not the deciding factor to my social distancing. Because prior to having a car, if I wanted to go out, I would have. It was no big deal. But I think it's an accessibility thing. Like, oh, now Shar has a car. She can, you know, go wherever, do wherever, which I can. But I still have a lot of anxiousness around COVID-19 because I'm still a news girl. Some of you all are news girls, so you can afford to live in the little bubble that you've crafted for yourself, that you and your friends and family have crafted for yourself. See, me, Baby, Twitter is my newspaper. I'm subscribed to them all, okay? MSNBC, CNN, like local affiliates. I watch the news, like not round the clock, not like I used to, but I do watch 11 a.m. Now I've whittled it down. I watch the 11 a.m. local news and I watch The Readout. Shout out to Joy Ann Reid on MSNBC. I watch both of those and I see these headlines and y'all, COVID hadn't went away. You know that song that girl did on TikTok? The pandemic is not over just because you're over it. And so that's been my main thing. I'm not trying to contract that mess. I'm not trying to be in here coughing and potentially having like long-standing effects and after, I'm good. The most I'll do is like, for example, I went out to eat at a restaurant for the first time in months. I did that on last Friday because I was car shopping and I owed my friend a birthday lunch. But when I initially pitched this was like back in June and I was like, I'll Postmate it to you. But since we were out and he was so gracious to come with me and kind of be that liaison for me between me and the car salesman, we went out, we went to Yard House in Burbank, ate outside. I swished my silverware because I didn't want to use my fingers for anything, but swished my silverware in the water and did what I had to do and had it to go, and I was fine. But as far as just like leisurely stuff, like I was invited to the Abbey 2 nights ago and I was like, no. Birthday parties, like none of that. Unless it's explicitly detailed out. And I'm not going anywhere where it's more than, I'd say 5 people. And I'd have to be the 5th or the 6th. I'm just not doing that. And I'm going to keep on my mask the whole time. That's just me. That might not be for you. But for me, until we get this thing figured out, if you catch Shar out, that's what it's going to be. And this is coming from a girl with no pre-existing conditions, but I don't, like I said, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for tons of people. You all would be surprised. Tons of people going to the Abbey right now. So West Hollywood is still thumping and pumping. Let's not act like we don't know, okay? It's still thumping and pumping. So, yeah. And that's not to say, you know what, it's been hard because a lot of people who were taking this seriously have really started to loosen up. And so I'm not going to even lie. I have been tempted. But I just can't, y'all. I can't. I am grateful that some of my anxiousness has loosened up. Because when I first really went out, I think I had spent 100 days in my apartment, like not even joking. 100 days with doing nothing but going to the grocery store and coming back home and occasional laps around the park. No socializing. When I went out, it was 3 other people and they were at a restaurant. We were all at a restaurant. The only reason why I felt comfortable is because there was extreme social distancing and the restaurant was roofless. So there was no enclosing or whatever. The waiters had on masks. I kept my mask on, but I had never had anxiety show up in my hands. My hands were like, and I couldn't eat anything. I had no appetite. I had a glass of water, vodka, soda, and a ginger ale. While they all ate, like they had pizza and they like, you know, it was smelling good and looking good, but I couldn't do it. So, to each their own though, to each their own. I've gotten past shaming people. I really have. I don't have the energy. You all are going to do what you want to do that. However, my empathy meter has run out. My empathy meter is -0. So if you're out there doing what you want to do, you happen to get a tickle in your throat. You see how I'm looking at y'all through the iPhone right now? That's exactly how I'm going to be looking at you. If you happen to FaceTime me or call me, what do you want from me? Thoughts and prayers? Do I have to turn into a Republican and give you thoughts and prayers? I don't know what to tell you. It's all out there. This news is accessible. You know what I'm saying? And whether you're an MSNBC or a hard news watching girl or not, it's on. You all are all on the Hollywood Unlocked and Shade Room and stuff. The news is out there. So it's not like this would have been a happenstance, you know? So I am ready for this to get it over with, though. I've also accepted that I noticed that I was one of the girls who was looking up and saying, oh my gosh, we have a week until so and so. Like, damn, it's about to be May. Damn, it's about to be June. Wow, we're 4 days away from July. August, I feel like, desensitized me. The year is gone. I hate to tell you, you all, in case you have not realized, the year is gone. And I think what threw me off about August is in May, when the world, in March, when the world stopped spinning, we all had it in our minds for the most part, like, oh, by August, things will be, back to normal. All of the Leos and all of the Virgos and all, this better be gone by my birthday because I'm trying. Everybody's adjusting now. You know what I'm saying? And so I've just accepted that 2020 is gone. And I was tweeting the other day about how excited I was in December. Like, I was journaling about being so excited to start a new year and a new decade. And I had shed so much dead weight and stopped talking to so many people. And I'm still holding on to that excitement. 2020 has not been fun, but this has been, out of all of my years on earth so far, 2020 has been the most transformative. It has been the most transformative. And I actually do genuinely feel bad for anyone who is coming out on the other side of 2020 into 2021 and has not had some level of aha moment, because I've had several. And I feel like I have a better understanding of self. And I almost feel confident to go forth and now live the rest of my life type thing. This has by far been the most challenging, but the most transformative. And in some way, I'm sure I'll look back and say it's been the most rewarding too. But right now, I don't feel that way. I'm ready to work. I feel like Jackie Christie in the bed. I am ready to work. I am ready to pop this ass to wop on a dance floor. I'm ready to rub up against a man. I'm ready to, have a drink. I'm ready to meet up with my friends for happy hour. Like, I'm ready. But in the meantime, between time, I'm behaving. There's some people I hadn't seen. Like my friend that went to the car dealership with me, that was my first time seeing him in person, in the flesh, since like March 16th. Not even joking. First time. So this has been hard. In certain ways, it's brought me closer. In a lot of ways, it's brought me closer to my chosen family out here in LA. But in a lot of ways, there's been a lot of painful growth that comes from this. Subconscious growth, like I was telling you all last week, that has come from this. It's been weird. But you know what? Like I said, I'm staying in the mindset of it being beautiful. And this year's gone. I've accepted that. This year's gone. I can't afford to keep looking up every month and saying, oh, we're a week and a half away from November. Girl, can you believe it? Can you believe Halloween is next week? Damn, Thanksgiving is coming up in 2 weeks. Like, I can't afford to keep, but that's just the girl that I am, but I can't afford to keep doing that. Because as soon as it rolls off my tongue, I get to feeling like, hi, Randy. I get to feeling, it becomes all the more real to me once it rolls off my tongue, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that's just where I'm at. I got about 9 minutes left before I conclude this with you all. I don't know if I have anything more to say. I don't know if I have anything more to offer to this conversation, other than, like I said, I've slowed down. I'm not, just to reiterate for those of you just joining, the dating apps, I've slowed down. Plus, everybody's ignoring social distancing on dating apps. I can't be that girl. But what I do like about this go around is I have not experienced a large amount of fetishism or rejection. Have I been fetishized? Yes. Have I been rejected? Yes. But it doesn't feel like an onslaught. And I don't know if that's because I've approached this just having a better sense of self and fundamentally not caring and realizing that I'm the prize. Okay? And you all can say I'm sipping from my own Kool-Aid or not, but literally, I have yet to come across a man that has floored me in conversation, in anything. Floored me in looks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd be like, ooh, damn, he is fine. But there's nothing behind it. There's nothing behind it. Nothing but patriarchy. Upholding patriarchy and constantly reminding me of a woman's place. And I'm too independent and you can be intimidating. Why? Because I have a sense of self. I'm sure of myself. I'm a go-getter. I earn my own money. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. That's intimidating to you? Oh, yes, I'm sure it is. Based on socialization and the way that you just want me to just be up under you and ask for permission. Can I, like, the fuck out of here with all of that. I don't have time for that. Randy, I would love to come to Atlanta or Dallas, but I can assure you it will not be happening anytime soon. Thanks to Miss Rona. I love both. You know I love Dallas with all of my heart. And I haven't been to Atlanta since I had a cousin graduate from Spelman like back in '08. But every time I'm in the A, I have a good time. I was just telling Megan Thomas that on Sundays with Shar, last Sunday or whatever. It won't be any, I can't travel right now. I don't want to be in that cesspool of a plane with that circulating air. I don't know people's walks of life, where they came from, if they got it, if they live with somebody that got, I have no interest. Maybe if I could crack a window on a plane, get some fresh air in there, I would. But right now I can't get on a plane. I haven't even been to see my own mother. Okay? I haven't seen any of my family aside from what I'm talking to y'all through. And that has not been easy as well, by the way. That has not been easy. But that is what has brought me closer to my family out here in Los Angeles, because my family is scattered all over the United States of America, with my sisters being in New York and both of my parents being in Chicago. So, yeah. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up. I got 6 minutes left. I really don't have anything else to talk about. I'm just going to keep reiterating my same points. Trans girls, get out there, protect yourselves. I need to get a weapon. That's what I can talk about. I was thinking about getting me a little 380, pow pow, but I think instead I'm going to end up getting, because I have a clean record. I can do it. I can afford it. I've never shot a gun before outside of like laser tag. I've never even shot a paintball gun. But I know me. And I have the emotional maturity to admit to everyone on this live that I'm a bit too emotional to be a gun owner. I'm a bit too emotional. Sometimes being emotional leads to being irrational. And I am not trying to end up at Litchfield Women's Prison with Alex and Piper. And Sophia. And Red. And Gloria Mendoza. I don't want to, because I was irrational. So I've seen this push. Shout out to Trace Lissette. She mentioned, we do need to arm ourselves. And the thing is, the goal is to get away, because you don't want to take someone's life, because then that brings on a whole other set of problems for you. So I do feel like I need to get armed. My mace or a knife, I was thinking a taser, but if I got a taser, I would want the stun gun type. I don't want the taser that I got to be up on you and hit your neck. I want the kind that has those electrical prongs or whatever. You shoot the taser gun and the prongs come out, and you know how they latch in people's skin and give you that jolt? That's the one I'd want. So yeah, trans girls, protect yourselves. Hey, boo. And it goes beyond trans girls. All women and femmes need to protect themselves. Protect ourselves, because we all we got. I dare you to tell me in the comments who's protecting us, if not us ourselves. Who's protecting us? Don't play on my time or in my face. So that is my tidbit. Get something to protect yourself, because things are intense, or at least they feel intense right now. And that's another thing, like with the dating stuff, it's just like, I don't trust, y'all know I have a hard time just trusting men in general. It's just like, what if I let my guard down? And I hate exploring what ifs, but I gotta be smart. Let your guard down and a man betrays you in a way like that, that's like violent. And when I say betrays me, I don't mean like in a cheating type way or something that might be more conventionally expected. I mean like with violence or something, like playing the game type thing. There was a storyline on 911 on Fox where a gay character had met a guy off of a dating app, and they went on a date and everything was fine, but the whole date was a setup. He ended up getting like gay bashed and got his stuff stolen from, like, I'm too I'm too soft and cunt for that. I can't be out here fighting these men. No, leave me alone. That's why it's just easier to just see my conflict. These you are getting a taste of my internal conflict with the dating apps. Leave me alone. But it also would be nice to have the company of a man, but would it? Would it? No, men have really stepped up to the plate and shown me, proven themselves worthy. And even those that are fighting, even those that are out there fighting misogyny and patriarchy and things like that, I don't want to say they're not loud enough, but it's like you need more people. Most people I see speaking out about the injustices against marginalized communities are women and femmes. It's like 6 guys I can think of. And if there's more, they're not loud enough. So it's like, are you all going to hold each other accountable? Of course you're not, because you're benefiting from not holding each other accountable, because it makes you look so much better. It makes you not have to step your shit up when your bro over there is violent and ignorant and stupid. You calling him to the carpet would in turn force you to have to step your stuff up, because now the bar is at a higher level. But no, you wouldn't dare call him out. You're going to keep letting him wreak havoc so you can still look like a knight in shining armor to the rest of us. I'm up on game. Whether it is a deliberate decision or a subconscious one, I'm up on game. So I dedicate this hour to the women and femmes. Hang in there, girls. Hang in there, sis. We all we got. I'm about to hop off of here and make me something to eat, because I have a 1:30 meeting with an astrologer, and it's going to be good. It won't be for public consumption. It'll just be us. So you all enjoy your Sunday. Lovecraft Country, episode 2 comes on tonight. Potomac Housewives comes on tonight. What else comes on tonight that I'm watching? There's something. Oh, The Shy finale. I need to watch that as well. So my Sunday's lined up. I got to think of what I'm doing for dinner. Maybe something Postmates, or maybe I'll drive to pick up something. Who knows? But yeah, enjoy your Sunday and enjoy your week. We'll talk next week. I have another fun guest for Sundays with Shar. And yeah, bye guys.